Hello, and welcome to the Really Big Podcast, featuring me, Seb Gran, Olly Johnson.
Yeah, hello, I'm Olly Johnson.
Yes, and Peter Shipway.
Hi, I'm Peter Shipway.
First, let me apologise about any possible background noise. We're currently being chased by the police.
You do not want to know what we did.
No, but seriously, right. We're on location outside our super secret improv recording studio.
We're at KFC.
Pete, tell the world, why don't you? Yeah. Alright, let's get on to our topics of the week. It's been a very interesting week in the news.
Has it?
Yes, apparently there's some good news as well. Today it's been revealed that unemployment fell by 65,000 this month to 2.58 million, which is the lowest it's been in quite a while.
Oh, I see.
So, yeah, what do you think about that, Ollie?
Unemployment fell, did you say?
Yeah, it fell 3 times in a row. Not bad.
Yeah.
It'll probably go up again now.
You are such a pessimist, Pete.
Let's see, what was I going to say? Well, the more jobs that are taken, that means the less that have been left for us. They took our job!
They took our job! But, so yeah, a bit of a victory story for once. It's quite good to see. Some more interesting news. It's not quite new news, but I want to hear the panel's thoughts on this.
Yeah.
That the Higgs boson has now been found by the Super Collider, at least that's what the scientists think. And I think that's quite amazing, but it's hardly been in the news. Scientists have pretty much figured out the meaning of life. What do you think, Ollie?
What is the meaning of life?
Well, they've figured out that the Higgs boson and the God particle... I'm saying all this, I don't know that much about it, but I do know that they think that this is confirmation that Einstein's theory of relativity and the theory of how the Big Bang Theory started, not the show, the Big Bang Theory. So I think our scientists have been proven right, and this is mostly British scientists doing that. Isn't that marvellous?
It is marvellous, yes.
Peter has a very interesting theory, don't you, on the Hadron Collider and the part it played? Yes, tell us your theory. Tell us your brilliant theory about how you think that the Super Collider in Switzerland caused the recession.
Well,
you told me this.
It's a bit suspicious since it started at the same time as the Large Hadron Collider was first launched.
So you're saying
it's
the
a
fact
conspiracy.
So you're saying it's a bit suspicious that the bank collapse happened at the same time as the Hadron Collider was activated?
Pretty much.
Interesting conspiracy theory. I mean, there's no von Heineken or whatever his name is who thinks that aliens made the pyramids, but I mean, Pete's quite an intellectual guy when it comes to these sort of things.
You wouldn't be able to tell, would you?
Don't be rude. That's my job. Some more interesting news. I saw this on BBC today. I saw a video of this. Apparently somebody built a jet engine out of Lego. A working jet engine.
A working jet engine?
Well, I don't assume that it could, heat itself and burn stuff, like our jet engines do on aircraft, but it's a full-scale Rolls-Royce Trent engine, I think, and it's the size of the sort that you'd find on our A380 airliners. And it's fully working and fully functional.
Cool.
Well, this is quite interesting, quite scandalous actually, that a few hospitals in London went into debt because the companies that were running them were not running them well and spending way too much money. So the government had to step in at the last minute to put a special team in charge of these 3 hospitals. I think one's in Bexley, one's in Orpington, not sure where the other is. To put them in charge of the hospital and try and lower the debt. So, what do you think about this, Pete?
What were they spending the money on?
Hospital stuff, like wheelchairs for people like Ollie.
Alright.
Okay, so, yeah, a bit scandalous, a bit interesting, not usually something that happens, a hospital running out of money like that, but...
I blame the government.
Everyone blames the government for everything.
I know.
That's because it's all their fault.
They should do something about the dust cloud that came.
Oh, you mean the volcanic ash?
Rain.
Yeah, they should do something about the rain. Today, I think, it's Nelson Mandela's 94th... What?
The rain's stopping.
Think your magic. Anyway... It's Nelson Mandela's 94th birthday today.
Hooray!
Yay!
Happy birthday, Mr. Mandela. I loved you in the Shawshank Redemption.
Yes, very good movie, very good man. He brought an end to the segregation in South Africa. What do you think about that, Pete? I mean, Nelson Mandela's 94, it's hard to believe, isn't it?
Christopher Lee's 90.
How are they similar people?
They're old.
They're over 90.
Oh, fair enough, maybe they know each other.
I think John Williams is nearly 90.
Yeah, and Jim Carrey's 50.
He's nearly 80.
Oh, really?
Who, Jim Carrey?
No, John Williams.
Yes, I think you were watching a series of unfortunate events when you came to that conclusion, Pete.
I've never seen that.
I saw it once. It was alright.
Yeah, it was okay.
Yes, so that's our summary of the news. This is the part of the show where we each tell our listeners one funny anecdote or something that happened to us during the week. Would you like to start off, Ollie?
I would. However, there hasn't been much funny that's happened to me this week.
Well, just tell us something that's happened to you recently that you think, our listeners will get a few kicks from hearing about.
I recently found out how out of touch I am. For instance, I didn't know Andy Warhol was a real person until the other day.
What, did you think that he was, a disguise like George Eliot, or...?
I only first heard of him after watching Noel Fielding's luxury comedy, in which Andy Warhol was a character. Obviously a pastiche on himself, I think that's the correct word.
By the way, Ollie, here's a bit of a shocker for you. Winston Churchill is real as well.
I know Winston Churchill is real, you blithering twat.
By the way, earlier when I said so our listeners may get a few kicks out of listening to what you had to say, it's not a joke about the wheelchair.
Yeah, I never assumed it was.
Yes, so you thought that the soup guy wasn't real?
I thought that Andy Warhol was just a character Noel Fielding made up.
Oh, great. Alright, Pete, tell us about the story of your life recently.
Yeah, such as the amount of pubs you've been thrown out of for no reason.
It's just for not having ID.
And the funny thing
You
is,
weren't even drinking alcohol.
Well, actually I was.
Yes.
Oh.
He was so drunk.
But you're 20 years old.
When we were in Coventry...
It was my birthday.
We went into a pub, and there was this woman at the bar, and she offered to buy us a drink, and she was telling us she liked our hair.
And of course then we knew something was up.
Yeah, because no one likes our hairs.
Well, you weren't there, Ollie.
I know, I just had to say that.
Yes.
And she was wearing a lot of makeup, and she had her hair up.
You're saying that people who have the hair up are automatically prostitutes, like Marge Simpson?
And if you'd have been there, you'd know what I'm talking about.
I was there, Pete.
Well, I'm talking to the listeners.
We have listeners.
Well,
Great.
that remains to be seen.
Or
Fingers
listen to.
crossed, toes crossed.
Sorry for Seb, by the way. He's always like this.
The amount of times he said that in public. Anyway, Pete, carry on.
Seb thought that she was just being friendly, but when Sam went back to the bar, we could hear this woman...
She was going on about how when she was in prison.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
She was telling him she liked his hair.
Yeah, we're going round in circles here. Want to wrap it up?
Yes.
Yes.
Seb, something funny that's happened to you.
Alright. Well, I've recently got a job at Asda. Pushing trolleys sounds mundane, but you get paid for it. You get fresh air and exercise. It's rather lovely. Yes, for my break last week, half an hour, I was amazed to find that Raiders of the Lost Ark was on. So I was quite happy to see this during my break. The last half an hour it was quite entertaining. There were quite a few people gathered around watching it, having their breaks.
Was that the one we watched at Exel?
Yes, it's one we watched a few years ago, Pete. Yes, so I was very happy about this, and I thought, I can't wait till next week when the Temple of Doom's on and I get to watch that during my break working at Asda. So this week I came back hoping to watch the Temple of Doom. And I came in, there was no remote to be seen, and what was on the TV is that crappy, god-awful, shite new show that Andrew Lloyd Webber's doing where he thinks he's clever. And there was this retarded guy who looked like Jesus trying to become Jesus, and he was singing, "You can be my hero, baby! You can kiss away my pain!" He had a terrible voice.
Seb Grand, ladies and gentlemen.
That's my usual singing voice. And I was so pissed off, I was looking for a control. I just couldn't bear to watch it any longer. I wanted to throw something at it. I really did. I didn't care if I was going to be fired at that point. I was looking for the biggest throwable object possible, fire extinguishers, just to destroy this big HD TV.
Ooh.
But the thing is, it was high up on the ceiling, so it's not like I could even reach channel thing to change the channel to Indiana Jones. And of course, it was all hyped up. I was looking forward to seeing the last half an hour of the Temple of Doom. But knowing my luck, because I get bad luck, next week, The Last Crusade is on. I won't be able to see that because it'll be on that damn reality show. And the week after, when Kingdom of Crystal Skull is on, it will be on, and I'll experience that movie again.
Which is your favourite of the 3 Indiana Jones movies?
Definitely the first one, so I was glad I got to see that.
Same here.
Second, I'd say 1, 2, 3 in that order.
I've only seen the first one.
I'd say 1, 3, 2 in that order.
We are no longer friends, Ollie.
Fine.
Are you seriously saying that The Last Crusade is better than Temple of Doom?
I thought so.
I love the Temple of Doom, it was a good movie.
You saying The Last Crusade wasn't?
I'm not saying it wasn't, I was just saying it's not quite as good as the Temple of Doom.
Which one was the new one?
The new one is not worth talking about.
There is no new one. It does not exist.
This week I am going to meet for an interview. I'm not sure if I can get an exclusive one for the podcast or not, but with Right Honourable Deputy Prime Minister Nick Clegg. So I was thinking, while thinking of questions I could ask him, what would our panel like to ask Nick Clegg if they were to talk to him tomorrow?
Well, I have this idea. I don't think everyone should have the right to vote.
Well, you are a chauvinistic, repressed racist, Ollie.
No, I'm not. I mean, you should have to pass some kind of academic test
Like
to
an IQ
qualify.
test.
I agree.
Yeah, to qualify to vote, because I've seen some of the people that have the right to vote, and it scares me, quite frankly. These are the people that are deciding the future of the country.
Yeah, you do have a sort of a point, and it is a bit frightening at times.
Yeah.
Uh,
I mean, my mum watches the Jeremy Kyle show.
and she has a right to vote.
Well,
No one who watches the Jeremy Kyle show should have the right to vote.
doubly true for the people who go on it.
So they should get -2 votes, like the candidate they vote for loses 2 votes.
Yeah.
And Pete, what would you like to ask Nick Clegg, one of our leaders?
Yeah, because we're probably never going to have another chance to ask Nick Clegg something.
Do you like Lost? If so, what's your favourite character?
Okay, I hope he's a Desmond man, otherwise he wouldn't get my vote.
And I don't watch Lost, by the way.
No,
I like Desmond.
I'd think I'd ask him, this is almost serious actually, if he had to do it all again, what would he do differently? Okay, on that serious note, I think that's the end of the show. From, Pete? Bye.
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 Okay.
Yeah, bye. 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 Bye.
Bye. Sorry, thank you. Bye. Bye. Sorry, thank you. Bye.